You're listening to Frankie C. Sports on Northeast Streaming Sports.
What is going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode. Kind of early today for both Jay and I, but it's a special start time. What we like to call the Top 5 Sports Show with myself and my boy Jay McLovin. How you doing today, Jay?
Hey, I'm good. I'm very, very good. I appreciate having the opportunity to be on the show today. I want people to understand that I know we're called Top 5 Sports, but that doesn't mean that we're necessarily regulated to Top 5 Sports. I think what I would like for us to do is be able to venture out into different subject matters. And today we're going to do that. Today we're talking about Top 5 MMA sports athletes, but next week we could be talking about whatever current events are going to be arising. So, Frankie, why don't you go ahead and get us started out with your number 5 spot in the MMA world?
Yeah, all right. I'll start it off this week. I'm gonna go with at number 5. It's kind of hard, but I'm gonna go kind of across here. I'm gonna go with a female, and I'm gonna go with Amanda Nunez. She's an amazing fighter. Most people forget that there's women out there that are in the UFC world that are dominating. We had Ronda Rousey, we had Holly Holcomb, and all of them. But Amanda Nunez is something different. She's amazing. I just seen her fight on, I think it was last week Saturday. I believe it was UFC 259. She murdered her opponent within like the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ended her person quick in the first round and still has 2 belts. She's an amazing UFC fighter. And now people are trying to say, is she eligible now to go against UFC male fighters now that she basically cleared off every female fighter in the UFC? Can she now go and fight UFC male fighters? And it's kind of weird. Everybody probably think it's kind of weird that I'm putting a female up in my top 5, but everybody would put a male. But you guys got to also think females are legit top contenders in the UFC, and there's some tough females over there if you can brawl down in the UFC.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and that's actually Amanda Nunez. It's weird for me. I almost think I would have had her a little higher than top 5, just because I know that Amanda Nunez.
I would have had her higher top 5 as well, but I'm just gonna put her in there because I don't want to block out the female UFC fighters as well. I want to show people that there could be UFC female fighters that could be on your top 5 list if you like the UFC, if you're a fan of UFC. She's definitely a top 10 UFC fighter all time with male and females. But I just want to throw her in the top 5 because I want to show that females can also, females are showing up in the UFC world.
Right. No, I feel you. I understand what you're saying. Me personally, I just got to be honest with you. At number 5, and I love, I love Nunez. When Nunez beat the crap out of freaking Ronda, whatever the frick her name was.
Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, Ronda Rousey. Man, she beat the crap out of him. And that's when I kind of got a little bit of respect for her. And kind of watching Cyborg and kind of going forward from there, she really, really, really demonstrated her name and what she does for the game of MMA. But I got to be honest with you. My number 5 is Demetrius Johnson. And it's Demetrius Johnson for a reason. The man's got 30 damn wins. 30 wins. 5 KOs. 12 submissions. 12 submissions. I want to say it again. 12 submissions. 13 decisions against 3 losses. So the man is 30-3, but out of that 30, 12 of them were by submission, and that alone elevates him to number 5. Just that alone by itself. You're right. Nunez was a creative person. She was amazing. She was crazy at what she did against Ronda Rousey. Cyborg just ruined a lot of things. But when Cejudo beat Johnson in the rematch of 2018, it was unclear where Johnson would go. But he ended up moving up to one championship, a Singapore-based fight, and he won 3 fights in a row, crowned the company's flyweight Grand Prix champion, and this is his first championship. Winning is what Johnson knows. Johnson has Johnson. Okay, let me say it again. Johnson has won. That's the word I'm looking for. Johnson has won at many different levels. No doubt about it. Johnson has won at many different levels. And I think that Amanda Nunez, as great as she is, and she is great, and she has done great things, is probably nipping, and I say nipping, at the heels of Johnson. I think that she's nipping at the heels of getting into that number 5 spot. But right now I got Amanda Nunez at number 6. Only because I think Johnson is just a little bit better than Nunez, and it's not by much.
Are you saying that because she's a female, he's a male? How dare you, Jay? How dare you, Jay?
How dare me? But I just feel like at that level, at that positioning, I think Amanda Nunez, and that's no disrespect to her, because she's done great things, and she's going to continue. Let me reiterate, she's going to continue to do great things. But where she stands right now, currently, I just feel like Johnson's at 5, but she's at 6. But I do expect her to take over number 5 at some point, within the next year or next year and a half. I think she'll take over that number 5 spot just on her fights alone.
Okay, I like that. Oh, excuse me. I had a burp. We're gonna move on to number 4. My number 4 fighter all time's got to be none other than George St Pierre. I love GSP. GSP is one of the greatest fighters that I've watched growing up. When I was actually liked UFC back in the time. I don't watch much UFC now. I watched it back in the hardcore days with Chuck Liddell, BJ Penn, Matt Hughes, and George St Pierre, Frank Mir, and all of those great fighters. To me, I think there was nobody even kind of close to what GSP did in the UFC world. He's one of the greatest welterweight champions of all time in the UFC. He won the title, I think, 9 times, or he defended the title successfully 9 times. And I think he won the UFC welterweight title twice, and defended it 9 times. So GSP is one of the greatest fighters in the welterweight class in my choice. Christian Allet commented down saying he thinks BJ Penn is the GOAT. I agree with you. I like BJ Penn as well. I mean, if I didn't put Amanda Nunez at number 5, I was honestly going to put BJ Penn in there, but I just wanted to put Amanda Nunez in there so I can, show the world that a female fighter, especially as, Amanda Nunez, should be at least a top 5. But BJ Penn is up there. I like him.
I absolutely agree. And I can't disagree with you there. Okay, I can't. I don't have a legitimate argument to even be able to disagree with you there at that positioning. I think we move on to number 4. And number 4 in our count, I got my personal opinion is Kamaru Usman. I got Usman at number 4 with 16 wins, 7 KOs, 1 submission, 8 decisions, and 1 loss. Submit. So he did lose once via submission, but this man's been in the ring 16 times and he's only lost once via submission. And I want to point out the reason why I got him at the number 4 spot and not anything less than that is because he also defeated Conor McGregor, and I don't think a lot of people give that a lot of weight. I think if you can defeat Conor McGregor, I think if you're giving Conor McGregor the weight that Conor McGregor should be given, then that says volumes for what I'm talking about. He's already beaten Leon Edwards, Rafael Hanos, and Tyrone Woodley bout with Stahlhelm crowded middleweight champion. So he's already won the welterweight. He then went on to win the middleweight. And then he goes on to beat Conor McGregor. I don't know how much more you need to specify how good this Usman kid is. But when you beat Conor McGregor, which is a big-time draw at the middleweight division, what more needs to be said, honestly, at this point?
Most entertaining fighter is Nick Diaz by far. Absolutely. I miss Nick Diaz. I don't know where he's been lately. I really miss that guy's fight. He's one of the amazing, greatest fighters. We definitely need to see a Nick Diaz versus Conor McGregor 3 just to get it out of the way, and we can actually end that debate on seeing who's better, because that's a one-on-one right there between Conor and Nick.
Right. No, I can see that point of view, and I can see where you're coming from that angle. I still kind of feel like Usman still has the edge, but yeah, I can see what you're talking about.
Right. Alrighty. So we're gonna move on down to number 3. My number three is gonna be none other than one of the greats, Chuck Liddell. I love Chuck Liddell. He's one of the power hitting UFC fighters that I've watched back in the day. I actually miss him till this day. He's literally one of the best submissioners, and honestly one of the best knockouts. He's literally like, there's no way you could put him in your top 5. If you don't have him in your top 5, then I don't know if you actually know the sport of UFC with Chuck Liddell, because he's knocked out some of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, including what's his name? Let me see if I can see it real quick. If he's what's his name? I forgot his name. Man,
Right. No,
he had a great rivalry. He had a great rivalry with somebody. I forgot his name.
I hate when that shit happens.
Tito Ortiz. There it is.
Oh, okay.
It finally popped in. But yeah,
Okay.
I got Chuck Liddell. As not my number 3.
Man, that's amazing. And I like Chuck Liddell. I don't want to say anything bad about Chuck Liddell. I watched Chuck Liddell too, and Chuck Liddell was amazing. Oh my God. Chuck Liddell was badass. No doubt about it. I have nothing bad to say about Chuck Liddell whatsoever. I mean, Chuck Liddell was a badass in his own right. Do I think he's number 3? I don't know. I think he's pushing at 4 between. I would put Chuck Liddell at number 3, pushing number 2. I think he falls. I think Chuck Liddell falls at number 3.5. I don't think he's 3. I don't think he's 4. I think Chuck Liddell is 3.5, pushing 2. That's where I put Chuck Liddell. I think at number 3, I got Jon Jones. I think at 3, I got Jon Jones at 26 wins, 10 KOs, 6 submissions, 10 decisions, 1 loss for via disqualification, and 1 loss for no contest. But given his win to loss ratio, I gotta admit, Jon Jones had a very killer lightweight, heavyweight style and took that crown. Now, I don't want to overlook Liddell. I think Liddell is in between Jones and the number 2 guy that I'm going to list in a minute. So I would put Chuck Liddell right in between these 2 guys. I put Chuck Liddell at 3.5, and I got Jon Jones ranked at number 3 because of his killer instinct, his killer run, and what he did in between. You can overlook the controversies that he had out of the octagon misdemeanors and the failed drug test. I get all that bullshit that he went through. Jones hasn't looked like his old Jones stuff for a long time. So Jones went through a period of bullshit. I get it. And that's why I slide Chuck Liddell in at number 3.5 because of what he went through. And I put Jon Jones at 3. I put Chuck Liddell at 3.5. And then we move on to number 2.
Christian stopped by and said his third is none other than Rashad Evans. That's a good pick. I forgot about Rashad Evans. That's a really good pick.
I can see that too. I can see that too. Absolutely.
Yeah. My number 2 pick is going to be none other than Conor McGregor. I love Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is a beast fighter. No way in hell I'm not going to pick Conor McGregor. I love watching that man fight. He Jay spilled some beer on his beard there. For those of you who are watching, I'm going to just get it out of the way. I'm just going to get it out of the way. For those of you who are watching, my friend Jay here lives in a sunny side, nice south side area. He went over today and stopped by the beach before he came on the Top 5 Sports Show. And you know what you do when you go to the beach. You have a great time. He had a little sun and stuff like that. And, he did a little drinking. So he's coming on home and he's continuing it. So don't mind Jay if you see him spill his beer.
Hey, listen, I'm still sober, motherfucker. And I've been through about a bottle of tequila, a half a bottle of fucking Conor McGregor, as we talk about. I have been through half a fifth of Conor McGregor's proper 12. Conor McGregor, I just want to say on behalf of Top 5 Sports, you got a great 5th. I don't know what your handle is like, but your 5th is fucking amazing. Just amazing. Okay, back on this show. I apologize.
Yeah. I got Conor McGregor at number 2. I love Conor McGregor. I love watching that man fight. The amount of times he knock a person out within the first round is amazing. And the things he do, he can tell you to your face, like, I'm gonna kick your ass. I don't care. We're gonna get in that octagon. I'm gonna kick your ass. He goes in that octagon and he kicked their ass. But
yeah, that's true. That's true.
We're not seeing the same Conor McGregor as of late, especially after the Floyd Money Mayweather boxing match. I feel that after that he just hasn't been looking the same. He lost, I believe, 3 straight fights already, or 4. I don't even remember how many fights he had after that. I know the recent fight that he had, he definitely lost. He lost really bad. He got knocked out. He didn't even know where he was at, and that's where it just showed me that Conor McGregor is done. But I do like Conor McGregor, and I also see Dennis there too. I do pick Conor McGregor at number 2, and if I had to choose, it would be Nick Diaz and Conor McGregor at number 2. Because I do like them both. He's saying Conor is entertaining and Nick Diaz is crazy. Yeah, Nick Diaz is crazy. Nick Diaz is an amazing fighter. We said that a little while ago. But if I had to choose between both of them, they both can be in the number 2 slot. They're both great fighters. They're amazing fighters. Conor is getting old. Yes, he said Conor's getting old, and it's okay. He is a legend. Yeah, that's why I'm putting Conor McGregor number 2 because of the history fights that he had. The man held 2 titles. When you hold 2 UFC titles at different weight classes, you're the GOAT. There's no doubt about it. You're one of the GOATs in the UFC. You're going to different weight classes. You're putting on pounds. You're fighting yourself by losing pounds to get into these different weight classes so you can show the world, well, hell, I could be a lightweight champion. I could be a middleweight champion. It don't matter. I'll be a champion at any division, and I'm showing you guys who you are, who I am. And that's why I got Conor McGregor number 2, man. I would also have Nick Diaz as well, but Conor McGregor, I like Conor McGregor more.
Yeah, like I said, you can't go wrong putting Conor McGregor at number 2. You really can't. I get that. Conor McGregor is a brand name. I'm gonna say it again. Conor McGregor is a brand name. I know this because I'm drinking Proper 12 right now. And Proper 12 is Conor McGregor's liquor of choice that he endorses. Much love to Conor McGregor and the brand that he endorses. Conor McGregor is a brand name. And so it's easy to jump behind him. It's easy to get behind what Conor McGregor wants to push out. I get that, and I get it all. But when I look at what I think is number 2, I'm looking beyond the brand. I want to look beyond the brand of Conor McGregor because Conor McGregor isn't the end-all, be-all of existence. I think Conor McGregor has made good business decisions going against, Floyd Mayweather and things like that and trying to, boost in money. I get it. It brings in the top dollar. I get it. I get it all. He went against Cerrone, and Cerrone basically was a bullshit person for him to go against, and it made him look good. But then he got beat. But then he came to reality, and Conor McGregor got beat. So who do I think is the clear number 2? The clear number 2 clearly revolves around Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo is the clear number 2. He's got 16 wins, 8 by knockout, 8 by decision, 2 losses, 1 KO, and 1 decision. That's Henry Cejudo in a nutshell. He's not Conor McGregor name status because Conor McGregor has name status. But Conor McGregor also got beat by Khabib, and he looked like shit going against Khabib. Conor McGregor looked like shit when he first came back into the ring. He lost coming back into the ring. Cejudo hasn't lost that yet. Cejudo is your bantamweight champion. Cejudo is an American wrestler. Cejudo has had 6 fights that he lost back-to-back against Johnson and Benavidez. He's also beaten Pettis and Dillashaw. So right now he's currently the flyweight division champion. So what does he have to do now? I don't know what he has to do now. Right now I think he has to go up against a little bit heavier contenders. But I would put Cejudo going up against the heavier descenders versus Conor McGregor, who's taken a late fall, and Conor McGregor, who's taken a period of absence. I think Cejudo, even though he retired himself, I think Cejudo is going to come out of retirement. I think Cejudo is going to get back into reality. And I think Conor McGregor and Cejudo is the fight to fucking match. I think if MMA, if UFC, bantamweight, whatever the fuck is out there, is going to put a fight together, they should put a fight together between Conor McGregor and Cejudo. I think that is the next fight that needs to happen. If it doesn't happen, then we're calling bullshit. But that's the fight that needs to happen. I think Conor McGregor needs to defend against Cejudo, and the winner of that fight should take on Khabib. And I think that's how we find out who exactly is the best MMA fighter of all time. There you go.
Awesome. Jay, I'm just looking at you, and I think Conor McGregor's liquor is literally knocking you out.
It's not that. Is it that bad?
I think Conor McGregor's liquor is knocking you out. He's not even there, and he's knocking you out with his alcohol. Oh, my God. That's how good Conor McGregor is.
I will say this, if I can. Frankie, if you don't mind. I will say, if anybody wants to have a good cocktail, I would absolutely mix Proper 12 with what's the word? What's what I'm looking for? Freaking God dang it.
Give him a second, folks.
No.
Give him a second, folks.
Proper 12 with ginger ale. That's the cocktail. I apologize. It's Proper 12 and ginger ale. Proper 12 and ginger ale. If you can mix proper 12 and ginger ale evenly, man, that's knockout punch right there. Let me tell you something. I will say it right now. Top five. Proper 12 and ginger ale will give you on a high note going into whatever it is for the rest of your natural day. You heard it first here on Top 5 Sports with Frankie C.
And Jay McLovin.
Damn it. I hate when I say them this that. No, but for real. Hey, listen. Conor McGregor, I like Conor. I do. I like Conor. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's not the best. He's just not. When he lost that last fight, coming back into the fight game, he lost it. He didn't, he wasn't the best. He was the best form that I've seen Conor McGregor had. And so
he's done. He's old. He's done.
I don't think he's done. I don't want to believe he's done. I really don't. I want to believe that if he puts his faith in it, that somebody like, Seguro isn't his end-all, be-all. I don't think that where he lost at is the end-all, be-all. But I will tell you this, if he wants to get back in the fight, he's going to have to fight because the judo, Khabib, these guys aren't going away. They're just not going away. And so if he wants to be Cejudo or if he wants to be Khabib, if he wants to be the best of the best, he's going to have to come with it. And I don't think that Conor at number 2 deserves that spot because he hasn't come with it to deserve that number 2 spot. I think I would put Conor at number 3. I would put Conor at number 3 before I put him at number 2. I think Cejudo and Khabib are 2 and 1. I think that, Conor McGregor, honestly, truthfully, honestly, I'm unbiased. I think Conor McGregor is flat out number 3.
Okay. No, I understand that. The way you break it down and put it together, it makes sense. I understand that. I like Khabib. Khabib is a nice fighter, but to me, Conor McGregor's number 2. To me, I don't know.
That's fine, and that's the man. I'll tell you what. Now, that's the beautiful thing about talking sports is that we all have our opinions, no matter what it is. We all have our opinions. Christian was Aulette, A-U-L-E.
Aulette, Christian Aulette.
He agrees with us. He said yes to your opinion of Conor McGregor.
No, he said no. That was to your opinion with Conor McGregor facing. I think it was Khabib, and then Khabib facing someone to determine who's the best.
Yeah, I think number 3 and number 2 are very, very controversial. I think very, very. I think between the number 3 spot and the number 2 spot, there's a lot of wiggle room in there to where we can say one or the other. And I don't think that wiggle room is going to get dissolved until one or the other fights each other and puts that to an end. And I don't know.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But did Khabib didn't he retire? Didn't he say I'm done with UFC?
Yeah. I think he did retire. I think it was 2 UFC pay-per-views ago.
Right. So Khabib is done. So really, we're fighting for number 2 position, even to equal number 1 position, which would put, and I'm telling you right now, which would put Seguro versus McGregor to see who is the top dog to take over the number 1 spot that Khabib vacated.
Got a comment here from Dennis Green. He says St Pierre top 5. You missed it. I put George St Pierre at number 4 for me. He did. Jay didn't put George St Pierre at his top 5.
I got probably St Pierre sitting at 6. Honestly, I got St Pierre sitting at 6. I didn't have him in my top 5. Mr. Green, you probably have a different agreement.
That's right. You call him Mr. Green, Jay. You call him Mr. Green. You put respect to his name, and you call him Mr. Green.
Hey, listen, I call all. I'm not an a-hole. I can agree with what Mr. Green is saying. I think that where he's putting him at is probably the right spot. No, it's okay. Mr. Green, you don't got to say my bad. I love you. God damn it. I love you, Mr. Green. Don't worry about it. It's all good in the hood. That's not even the proper 12 talking. That's Conor McGregor talking. I love you, Frankie. Frankie, have I ever told you I love you? I love you, Frankie.
I love you too, buddy. This is why we do the show together.
I do agree. I think our number 1, 2, possibly even number 3 is on point. And I think, okay, Conor McGregor can go in number 1. Conor McGregor can come back and fight, and I don't know if he's going to, but I don't think Conor's done. I don't think Conor is done. And that's why we have so much mixture in the air, because we don't know what Conor is going to do. We know Cejudo is retired, quote unquote, but I don't think Cejudo is 100% retired. I think Cejudo would come back for the right match if it presented itself. And could Conor McGregor drum up that type of match? I don't know. I mean, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said, cheers, it's Friday. No, yeah, you know what? It might be Friday in your books, but it's early Saturday for mine. I just got off the beach, and Frankie knows I just got off the beach. So I'm coming off the beach with some alcohol in my system. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can still talk sports any day of the week, anytime, any day. And I'm telling you, Conor McGregor could be number 2 if they fight Cejudo. I think for a number 2 spot, Cejudo's got to fight McGregor to capture it.
Right. I totally agree. He said, does Conor have too much money? Did he lose his fire? Anger?
Well, hell, he's representing proper 12. You think Conor McGregor's got too much money? Hell yeah, he's got a lot of money.
And you know what? And that's why I say that Conor McGregor hasn't been the same since after the Floyd Money Mayweather fight, because after that fight he got paid money. If anybody know this, Floyd Money Mayweather also got money, but Floyd Money Mayweather's already a millionaire. So if you really think about it, Conor McGregor lost, yes, but he got paid more that fight than Floyd Money Mayweather did. Conor McGregor got paid more.
Absolutely. And one thing about Conor McGregor is a very, very, very a big personality. He's a very, very big personality. And what makes me wonder where that's going to go next is, yeah, he lost. Okay, let's be honest. And I don't remember the fighter's name. Maybe Frankie C. You might know the fighter name that he lost to. But McGregor is coming off of a loss right now. He just had a loss. So it's not like he's like this King Primo Chiso. He came off a loss. And we're talking about him taking over possibly the number 2 is Cejudo. And I don't want to dismiss Cejudo. People overlook the right people all the time. And Cejudo at number 2, even though he's retired, should not be overlooked. He should not be overlooked, because everybody knows Cejudo, that is a bad, bad man. And the fact that we're talking about Conor McGregor taking over number 2 and we're looking bypassed Henry Cejudo is a wrong take. It's wrong. It's absolutely freaking wrong. Off the beach, I'm jealous. Hey, listen, I get you, man. Listen, I'm retired. I don't care, whatever. But I'm giving you the facts. The facts are this. Number 2 spot, if you want to give it to number 2, has got to be Conor McGregor taking on Cejudo for the number 2 spot. And where he goes from, if he beats Cejudo, well, then what's the next spot for him at that point? At that point, he's either A, going to be number 1, crown victorious, or B, he's going to be crown victorious with an asterisk that he hasn't beaten Khabib.
I agree. I totally agree. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna keep this rolling. We're gonna move on to our number 1. with my number one UFC fighter of all time. It's got to be none other than Jon Jones. Jon Jones is amazing. 28 total.
I knew you would say that.
Huh?
I had to figure you were going to say Jon Jones. Keep going.
Jon Jones is amazing, man. He had 26 wins, 10 knockouts, six submissions. 10 of them was by decisions. He only had one loss, which is by disqualification. So technically, he should be undefeated still. If he didn't have that disqualification. But yeah, Jon Jones is one of the, he's the greatest fighter of all time to me. I mean, you got other people, yeah. But Jon Jones, he's number one in my book. He's the number two UFC man, number 2 rank UFC man's pound for pound ranking. He won the light heavyweight championship twice. And I don't think he even lost him. He didn't even lose him. He had to give him up because of the drug allegation, steroid problem, or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. But he had to sacrifice his belt the first time, came back, won his belt back, and then had to give it back away because he got another case against him. He's still suspended till this day. Hopefully he can come back soon and dominate the UFC again. But Jon Jones is, to me, the GOAT. He's number one. Wow. He said Ken Shamrock. Man, I don't even want to talk about Ken Shamrock. He's a beast, but honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Christian. I honestly only remember Ken Shamrock from WWE. That's it. Well, WWF and WWE, and then going into TNA. I don't remember much of him in UFC and MMA. I know he was a great fighter. He had a great career. But I only remember Ken Shamrock in WWF and TNA. Jay, tell me, who is your number one fighter of all time?
No, I'm just blown by what you just said to me. You're number one. My number three is your number one, and that blows me out of the fucking water. Giving you all of the assets, giving you all of the information, giving you all of the fact-based data, and you're number 3. I don't care about Khabib. And my number three. Hold on, wait. My number 3 is your number 1. Blows me out of the water. And I'm going to explain why. Okay. Let's talk about Khabib. Not the bus incident where Conor McGregor, blah, 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 did a bunch of shit around his bus and rocked his bus and blah, 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 and all the hype and all the hoopla. That doesn't really matter. What matters to me is this. The man's got 28 wins, 8 KOs, 10 submissions, 10 decisions. But the most important stat, the stat that separates him from Conor McGregor and all the rest of the world, is the fact that he's unbeaten. He's unbeaten. Nobody's beaten Khabib. Nobody. Not one single individual has ever beaten Khabib. So right now, he's a pound for pound number 1 athlete in all of MMA. He's beaten McGregor. He put McGregor to shame, actually. McGregor came back. Has he beaten Jon Jones? Shut your damn mouth. McGregor tried to come back and couldn't do it, and Khabib basically put him into submission. Dabbed him out. Got him out of the ring. No matter what Conor McGregor tried to do in terms of trashing and saying stuff and van babbling, whatever the case may be, Khabib came out and kicked his ass. He's unbeaten. He's never been beat. And that should tell you all that you need to know about Khabib, and I can't even pronounce his last name, Nurmagomedov, whatever the fuck it is. I can't pronounce his last name. He's Russian, and he's got a crazy last name. But I will tell you this, at 28 wins and 0 losses, to include beating Conor McGregor, I want you to look at this, Frankie. And I'm only going to say this one time.
I think he's trying to put his middle finger up at the screen, y'all. I told you, Conor McGregor's alcohol been knocking him out.
Shut the fuck up. What I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm trying to get in the camera. Look, Frankie, I love you. You're my brother from another mother, and I promise you, I'm pretty much sure that we send the same dad because you have the same skin complexion as I do. I will say this. I'll say this. Hey, Frankie, even though we come from the same family, we have different ideas of what number one truly is. You think number one is whatever. I think number one is Khabib, and Khabib, I can't imagine anybody. I cannot imagine anybody being number one that hasn't beaten Khabib. And you tell me otherwise.
Has Khabib faced Jon Jones yet?
So if you think Khabib faced Jon Jones, you think what?
If them two were to fight, if they were to go one-on-one, and whoever wins out of that one, then we can say that person is the greatest fighter of all time.
That. Absolutely. Okay, I see where you're going. Hey, look, I think Khabib would come out of retirement. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I don't know if he needs the money or not. If he needs the money, he'll come out of retirement and he'll take on Jon Jones for that title. I don't think Khabib needs the money. I think Khabib is perfectly fine. But if Khabib wants to come out of retirement, take on Jon Jones, who probably needs the money, possibly more than Khabib, then I'm sure that fight could be entertained. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think Jon Jones and Khabib is going to happen. I just don't see the financials ever working to get that type of fight to happen. So let's be honest with ourselves. Let's look to what could happen. What could happen is a possible rematch. I think if anything's going to happen with Khabib coming out of retirement, if there was anything to ever draw him out of retirement, would be Conor McGregor. I think Conor McGregor would be the only thing that could draw Khabib out of retirement just based on their history between the two of them.
Okay.
But if Khabib, and I like Christian, I don't know his last name, Aulet. If what Christian Aulet is saying, I can see exactly what he's saying. I think, and I personally believe, Khabib is a bad. Damn, Khabib's a bad motherfucker. If you put Khabib up against Jon Jones, I believe, just like Christian believes, and I'm going to jump on his bandwagon for this episode, I believe, just like Christian believes, I believe that Khabib would absolutely beat Jon Jones. And Christian, I salute your opinion.
You know why? You know why you're saluting with Christian and agreeing with Christian? And I'm going to say this worldwide, so the entire world of sport podcasts can hear me say this. The only reason why Jay McLovin and my family, my bloodline, my man from, Christian Aulet, he's my family, he's my cousin. The only reason Jay McLovin and Christian Aulet are agreeing with each other, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the millions and millions watching around the world, the only reason they're agreeing with each other is because they're both Cowboy fans. And that's typical. Cowboy fans, they always stick together. They agree with each other. That's why we call them cowgirls, because they agree with each other. Typical for you two to pick Khabib over Jon Jones, you typical Cowboy fans.
All right. But at the same time, can I say one thing that disproves everything you just said? The funny thing about what you just said and what makes you look laughable amongst money people is that me and Christian had no idea that we were both Cowboys fans. We had no idea. I didn't know that Christian was a Cowboys fan. He didn't even know that I was a Cowboys fan.
I told you a couple of weeks ago Christian was a Cowboys fan.
I don't care what
That's
you
what I
told
told
me.
you.
Motherfucker, I don't remember a couple of weeks. Shut your mouth. Look, the bottom. Hey, listen. And this is why we call it top 5. We're top 5 for many reasons. It is Cowboys Nation. But honestly, to be honest with you, to be totally fucking honest with you, I didn't realize Christian was a Cowboys fan. I had no idea that he was a Cowboys fan. I knew I was a Cowboys fan. You knew I was a Cowboys fan. He obviously is a Cowboys fan. But what I'm saying is that is a totally isolated incident that two people come together and have the same opinion. That's not that freaking comical or unordinary. Well, actually, it is kind of unordinary because how did I know who he was and he didn't know what I was? So it is kind of unordinary. So there is a certain magical standpoint that me and Christian believe that, it is what it is. Bitch.
He had to add that bitch in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys got our top 5 UFC fighters of all time. I'm gonna step out for a minute, and I'm gonna before we end this, I want to just go out and let everybody know that the Patriots have re-signed Cam Newton to a 1-year deal, $14 million.
I don't understand that one bit.
I don't either. I really do not understand it either. I just feel that Bill Belichick probably feels that he's not strong enough, or he knows that he's not going to get a veteran.
What did Cam Newton do for you last year that
exactly
makes you think he's your fucking quarterback? What Bill Belichick
I don't understand
is looking for Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency or trading up his draft selections to try to get the number 1 through 6 spot to draft a quarterback.
What it shows me is he's going to keep Cam Newton because, well, if you look at it, what if he doesn't get a veteran quarterback for a trade or anything like that? Now he's going to have to look into the draft and get a quarterback in the first round. Okay, that's cool. Well, now you got your quarterback. You're going to have him learn behind Cam Newton, which I understand that.
Okay. It's okay for that, though, Frankie. It's okay to allow a quarterback to learn by. What I'm pissed off about is why didn't Bill Belichick go after Carson Wentz when he was available? Why didn't he put a package together for Carson Wentz? So I think Carson Wentz and a Bill Belichick could have been a really good combination.
I feel that Bill Belichick just wants a whole different playbook. He switched a playbook where he could have a quarterback run and pass. He's probably looking for a young quarterback who can run the ball and pass the ball as well. But now that I know that we re-signed Cam Newton, all I know now is hopefully the free agency starts up next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Things are gonna go crazy. We all know that it always goes crazy on free agency day, especially the first day. We're gonna see so many different things. But I'm hoping that Bill Belichick can at least this time, now that we have the money, now that we know Cam Newton is our quarterback, he's obviously gonna be our starting quarterback next year. We can now get the pieces and fit the puzzles. Let's get these free agent wide receivers. We can get Kenny Golladay. Let's get some tight ends.
No, stop that. You're not getting Golladay.
You don't think we're not going to get Golladay?
Hell no. Golladay is going to re-sign with the Buccaneers. Let's just go ahead and clarify that right now. Golladay.
He wasn't even a Buccaneer.
No, I don't see that.
He played for the Detroit Lions.
No.
Golladay played for the Lions.
He's going back to the Buccaneers.
Golladay.
He was with Detroit. I apologize. He was with the Detroit Lions.
You're talking about Chris Godwin. He's already with the
Godwin, Golladay, whatever the fuck.
Drink another one, Jay.
What I'm saying is I don't see Golladay. I don't. Oh my God, no! I do not see the Golladay going to New England. There's no fucking way that happens. No fucking way that happens. I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna happen because Bill Belichick has got his eyes on other things, and I don't think he's got his eyes on Golladay. No. No, absolutely fucking not. He can't afford them. He won't spend the fucking money. If he was going to spend the money,
what?
Wait, hold on.
You just say we don't have the money to afford him?
No. Let me finish my statement. Let me finish it before you criticize me. What I'm saying is this. Yeah, they got the fucking money. They got the cap room. What I'm saying is, though, why would he, you know what I'm saying? Why would he not? Why would he not spend that cap room and bring in Deshaun Watson as his quarterback? There's no fucking way in hell Cam Newton is going to do shit for you. Cam Newton is not going to get you to anywhere beyond what he is right now.
No team is going to give up. No team is going to give up what Houston is asking for Deshaun Watson. No team is going to give that up. No way in hell. If you see what Jared Goff or what the Rams got for the trade with Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford, if you've seen that trade, and you've seen the trade between the little trade between Indianapolis and the Eagles with Carson Wentz, best to believe that Houston can do something where they could be like, well, we can get 3 first-round draft picks or something like that for Deshaun Watson. You think that Galladay coming to the Patriots? Okay, let's say, hypothetically, I'm gonna back myself down a little bit. Let's say Galladay goes to the Patriots. You think that's gonna make a difference for your fucking team? Honestly, yeah,
no.
Yes, no. Yes. Because we will have a weapon that Cam Newton needs.
What is it going to do that's going to make the Patriots playoff worthy? Taking in Galladay. What is that going to make them playoff worthy? How is it going to make them playoff worthy? Who's their running back?
What do you mean?
Sony Michel? No, wait.
We have Sony Michel. We have Rex Burkhead. We got Damon Harris.
No, you got shit. You got shit.
What?
You got shit.
Jay,
what did Sonny Michel do?
You do know that we were ranked 4th last year in running in rush attacks and everything like that. We were ranked number 4.
So you think that Sonny Michel and Cam Newton and Galladay is going to be the path to enlightenment?
Kenny Galladay is a great wide receiver. He's going to be the wide receiver for Cam Newton.
A specific question, yes or no? Are those 3 players going to get you where you need to go?
It's not just those 3 players.
Who else is there?
We also got Julian Edelman, who's coming back from an injury. He's going to be fully healthy. We got Marquise. We got Marquise Lee coming back from opting out from last year we traded with Jacksonville to get him. He opted out, so we didn't even get the chance to see what he got. He's coming back this year. We can get Kenny Galladay. That's three big wide receivers right there. Plus, we can get another a good tight end who's going to free agent market. We can get Hunter Henry. You don't even know that, but if I heard otherwise that Jacksonville might pursue Hunter Henry, so I'm not even going to get with Hunter Henry on that one, but I'm hoping that we can get him. Who wouldn't want to play for Bill Belichick and shit like that? But I'm not 100% happy with the re-signing of Cam Newton. I'm not. I'm telling you that right now. I'm really not. I've been saying it since day one. I've gone on Unscripted, and when we do it on Top 5, I've been saying it. I wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. Still till this day, I'm still saying it.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a better choice.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you. And I still think, all right, he signed Cam Newton, but he's still telling people, okay, well, I'm still going to be out on the QB market. Well, why did you re-sign Cam Newton then? Because he's thinking in his head, certain people are probably not going to want to play for me, or they're not going to come. So let me go ahead and lock down Cam Newton before Cam Newton decides to go somewhere else. And I can have that veteran quarterback. So I know what Bill Belichick is thinking of, and this is where me and you agree on saying we shouldn't, or where we agree on that Bill Belichick shouldn't be a GM, because he's a head coach more than a GM, and I agree with that. He should be a head coach and not a GM. But I understand what he's doing. I totally understand what he's doing. He's giving Cam Newton again chump change. It says $14 million, but yeah, it's chump.
Let me ask you this question.
Chump change.
I got to ask you this. What if Bill Belichick went out to Atlanta, not the Jets? Because I understand there's bad beef between New England and New York. So I get that. He's not going to get the number 2 spot because of the bad beef. But what if he went out to Atlanta Falcons and said, hey, look, I'll give you a number 15. And maybe even a second rounder. I'll give you 2 picks. First round, second round, or even a first round and a first round, whatever the case may be. For your number, I think they're drafting at 5 or 6. I think they're drafting at 5 and maybe 6. But they have an opportunity to either A, number 1, draft Fields, B, number 2, to draft Wilson, or number 3, to even have the opportunity to draft Mac Jones. They got 3 potential quarterbacks at the Atlanta's position that could take over this team and bring them into the future. Fuck Cam Newton. I would much rather make that pick, the 15 for the 6th spot, and draft one of those quarterbacks that I think is the leader of my future and bring them in. And you're not going to win nothing this year. You're not going to win nothing anyway. Let me tell you something. Even with Cam Newton, you're not winning shit. You're not winning a goddamn thing. But if you bring in a quarterback of your future that could lead to further championships or possible championships down the road, what are you going to do?
I can't wait. Like I said, I'm upset about the Cam Newton signing. It's chump change, but I'm upset about it. It just shows me that Cam Newton is going to be our starting quarterback next year. Hopefully, we can get the weapons. Free agent market starts next Wednesday at 4 p.m. That's when it opens up. I'm hoping we can sign some good wide receivers, because if we sign some good wide receivers, then I'm going to be okay. I'm gonna be unhappy that we still got Cam Newton, but then I'm gonna feel comfortable because now Cam Newton can either throw the ball or run the ball because now we have some weapons on the field.
You're gonna feel better because you have weapons.
Exactly. So I'm hoping, like I said, we do have a lot of money. Cam Newton got chump change. He got $14 million. Technically, it's $6 million that he got, and the rest would be like inactive type stuff. Like he has to get to the playoffs and do other certain things with the Patriots in order to get the full $14 million, but it's technically $6 million that he's getting. So that's why it's chump change. So
right.
he kind of did good to lock down that veteran quarterback that he needed, but because I feel that Bill Belichick knows that he's not gonna get a veteran quarterback. He's been saying it, that he's been calling to try and get a veteran quarterback, but he couldn't because teams don't want. Why would you want to give the best coach of the NFL a young, talented quarterback, or veteran quarterback, when he's going to do great, especially on a year where he's having the top three salary cap. So You're going to give him a veteran quarterback to where now he's going to go into free agency and freaking get all these top wide receivers. No, they're going to get back in the playoffs and maybe win a Super Bowl. You don't know. So why am I going to trade away this young veteran quarterback to Bill Belichick when I know that he's going to do great for me here? So I understand, like I said, I understand why Bill Belichick did what he did on re-signing Cam Newton. But I'm hoping that he can get the weapons and we can trade everything.
Well,
he said Frankie, Dak got paid $40 million. Dak got paid $40 million. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jay. Dak got paid $40 million.
Dak got paid pretty nice. Dak got paid pretty nice.
Dak deserves it. Dak deserves it. I seen you guys on Unscripted.
Frankie, no, he does not. No, he doesn't, Frankie. Listen, damn it, stop it, Frankie. I'm a Cowboys fan, tried and true. Okay, so when I tell you from an unbiased standpoint, when I say unbiased, I'm being very, very unbiased. When I tell you that Dak Prescott does not deserve $40 million, because that's what the number one guy in the world and their home or what is it? Fuck his name. What is his name? Damn it. You know what I'm talking about. He does not deserve Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. He does not deserve Patrick Mahomes' money. There's no way in hell he deserves Patrick Mahomes' money. He hasn't even come close to sniffing Patrick Mahomes' money. So why am I happy that we're paying a quarterback who has not even got us past the second round Patrick Mahomes money who's got us to the Super Bowl. Why am I supposed to be good with that?
I don't know. I think that, I understand where Cowboys are trying to say, the Cowboy fans. I understand where you're coming from. It's tough to come back from a broken ankle injury and show off what you can. But Dak Prescott, he's an amazing quarterback, and this is coming from a Patriot. All right,
Why?
He's an amazing quarterback. To me, I think he deserves it. He deserves it because before he even got injured, he was putting up outstanding numbers. He was putting up better numbers than Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson. He was putting up more numbers than any of them. He was putting up about 400, maybe even 500 yards a game. He was doing such great things. And that's why I think, he deserves the money. He's a great quarterback. He could do great things. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. I get it, and I'm totally with you on that scenario. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see how all this plays out. I'm a Cowboys fan, tried and true, man, and I love Dak Prescott, but I feel like we've overpaid him. I feel like we've given him more than what he was actually deserving, and that bothers me. It bothers me because we've given a guy $60 million over 4 years, and we don't know what he's looking like coming off this major ass injury that he just came off of. Nobody knows what Dak Prescott is capable of coming off of this injury, and that worries me that we gave a big ass contract, a guaranteed contract, to somebody who hasn't proved himself yet, and that bothers me a lot. The Dallas committed so much to somebody on an injury that hasn't proved himself coming off that injury. I would have been much happier had we franchised Dak and had him earn the contract that we're giving him now. I would have felt so much better, but we didn't do that.
Yeah, I understand. But we're gonna have to wait and see. The season is coming up soon. Not fast enough, but it's coming up soon, y'all. We're only in March. Preseason starts in August. Like I said, we got the free agency opening up next week. A lot of things are going to change. You're going to see players that played in a jersey that's going to be in different jerseys. And then that's going to be followed up with the NFL draft next month, which I'm excited for. I'm going to be live for the NFL draft first round, where I'll be letting you guys know who's going to what team, how the team is looking and everything like that. I can't wait. I'm excited to go live for the draft. I love the drafts. I can't wait. I'm excited. But I will also be live next week, Wednesday, on an episode of Boston Talk. But normally I will talk about, the Red Sox and Bruins and stuff like that. But since next week, Wednesday, is free agency opening up at 4 p.m. and my show on Wednesdays at 7, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to be around the NFL world with the Patriots and everything like that, and let you guys know who's going where and stuff like that for next week episode of Boston Talk. But me and Jay had decided for top five sports show, just like he said earlier before the show has started. We're going to switch up top 5 sports show for you guys. The last basic month, I believe this has been a month now that me and Jay have started top 5 sports show. This is, I think, our 4th episode. So we made a month together, me and Jay, on an episode, and we're going to switch it up. We've been giving you guys top 5 athletes and stuff like that, and we're going to actually switch it up for you guys, and we're going to give you guys the lowdown, and we're not going to lock down on giving you guys top 5 all the time. We're gonna switch it up for you guys, and we're gonna give you top sports. We're gonna give you guys the sports news that you guys deserve. We're gonna give you guys everything from everywhere. We're gonna give you NHL. We're gonna give you NBA. We're gonna give you NFL, and we're gonna give you baseball. Hell, even if we wanted to, we'll give you soccer. We're not big soccer fans, but if we wanted to, we'll give you soccer if you guys wanted. If you guys want something for us to talk to you guys about, or you guys want something that you think we're not talking to you, or you want news about that we're not bringing up, let us know. Message me, message Jay, write us on a comment or anything like that. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. We'll gather some news together and everything like that, and we're going to talking about it for you guys, because we're going to switch it up for you guys starting next week. Jay, is there any final words you gonna say for unscripted or anything like that?
Yeah, really, man. No, not necessarily for unscripted. Just for us. I'm hoping that Frankie C will invite me to be a part of this watch party. We can do it together and just have a good time with it. And I'm really looking forward to it. So, Frankie C, I would like to extend my invite. Let's do it together and let's bring this out to the masses.
For what? For Wednesday?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem. Yeah. All right. So guys, tune in next week for Boston Talk. We'll be giving you live news on the NFL world around the world. Normally, it will be I will talk about Boston teams, but since the NFL free agents market is going to open up next Wednesday on an special episode of Boston Talk, my very first guest in Boston Talk ever. I never had a guest on Boston Talk. My very first guest on Boston Talk ever is none other than Jay McLovin, y'all. Tune in next Wednesday. It's going to be great. What is he got? Christian Ouellet, the National Beer Pong Tournaments. Hell, if you want us to talk about that, we'll talk about that. Hell, we'll talk about ESPN the Ocho, and we'll talk about dodgeball. It doesn't matter. We love sports. We'll talk all about sports. Whatever anybody wants us to talk about, we'll talk about it for you. It don't matter.
Absolutely. I'm totally down for the beer pong. Totally down to talk beer pong anytime, any day, anywhere. I will compete. I don't care. Let's do beer pong. I love beer. Beer.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in to an episode of Top 5 Sports Show with myself and my co-host, Jay McLovin, with a special time today at 4 p.m. Next week, we'll be back at a regular time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to, like I said, we're going to switch it up for you guys, and we're going to give you guys sports all around the world. And we're not going to lock down on just giving you guys top 5 athletes or sports or anything like that. We're going to switch it up for you guys. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow, Saturday at 1 p.m., with a special episode with me, Sports News with Frankie Cruz, and then tune in next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. on a special episode of Boston Talk with my very first ever guest, none other than my boy Jay McLovin, where we'll be giving you guys the latest rundowns around the league of the NFL world, where free agency has opened up at 4 p.m. next Wednesday. Thank you guys for watching. We had an amazing show. Guys, don't forget, if you haven't now, please, if you guys want Frankie C shirts, Frankie C Sports t-shirts are now available. Message me on Facebook at Frankie C Sports or my Facebook page. They're not that much. They're really cheap and they're really great. They're amazing shirts, honestly. My wife has been literally.
I can't wait to get mine.
My wife has been clanging and banging, making shirts left and right. So I'm ready to give them out to people and stuff like that. So for those of you who have already been locked down, I've talked to you guys. Just wait. I promise you guys will get your shirts. I promise you guys. Just give me time. It's just me and my wife making them. And it takes time to make them. I want them to be 100% perfect for you guys. I don't want them to be messed up. I don't want, I want them to be perfect for you guys. So if you guys want a shirt, just message me on Facebook and we'll make it happen for you guys. Also before we head out, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do a lot for, before we head out. Also, don't forget to tune in on Saturdays at noon, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch my boy Jay McLovin. You can catch his beautiful wife, Melanie. You can catch Logan Landers, and you can catch Big Shaw from Big Shaw Sports Podcast, where you'll catch them on Unscripted. If you like, comment, follow, share their streams, you will enter the jersey giveaway. I apologize. You will enter the jersey giveaway, where the team of Unscripted has got together and they have formed a jersey giveaway at the end or the beginning of April for the entire month of March. You have to like, follow, share their stream. Jay, go ahead and talk a little bit about that, just so they know.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, I'm not giving you no bullshit jersey. This is not a bullshit jersey. This is a legitimate, official, hand-stitched jersey. Everything is stitched. The name, the team, the badges, everything is hand-stitched. So whatever you get from me is going to be official, whether it be baseball, football, NBA, soccer. Those are the 4 sports I think we're covering. I can guarantee you an official jersey of the team. And if you want home or away, that's what I can give you. I can't guarantee you a name per se because it depends on the manufacturer, but definitely the team, the name, and away or home. I guarantee you, I can give you that, and it's going to be official. It's $150 jerseys for you guys. No cheap bullshit here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually one of the contestants in there. Jay have told me recently that I'm in second place right now, so I'm gonna top that up, and I'm gonna tune in tomorrow.
Down by one.
I'm down
literally,
by one. Look at that. I'm down by one.
Down by one.
So look at that. I'm tuning in tomorrow at Unscripted, and I'm taking the lead, and I'm gonna make sure I'm winning me a jersey by the end of this month. So yeah, that's the end of our show, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to an episode of Top 5 Sports Show. We love you guys. Thank you for all your support. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow for an episode of Sports News with Frankie Cruz, followed by Wednesday with my first ever special guest, Jay McLovin for Boston Talk, where we'll be giving you the rundown of the NFL free agency market. And then tune in next Friday at 7 p.m. normal time, where we'll be talking about sports around the world at our episode of Top 5 Sports Show. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you for watching Top 5 Sports Show with Frankie C. and Jay McLovin.